You let me violate you.
Alrighty then, let's get on to the next one, which is Piranha II, The Spawning, aka Piranha II, Flying Killers, from 1981. It is the first film from the self-proclaimed King of the World, trademark, James Francis Cameron. Or is it? The film has been a source of conjecture from the director of box office behemoths Titanic and Avatar, as the story goes that he was originally hired as the special effects director for the project, but after the original director dropped out, was asked by the Italian producer to step up to the main job. When Cameron arrived at the studio, he discovered that the project was underfinanced and his crew comprised primarily of Italians who spoke no English. Under duress, Cameron says he had a nightmare about an invincible robot hitman sent from the future to kill him. Sound familiar? Cameron claims he was fired from the job after only 2.5 weeks, but contractually could not have his name removed from the credits. Further claims have emerged that Cameron broke into the editing room whilst the movie's producers were in Cannes, but was caught and the movie was recut yet again. Further to that, he was also able to make a deal with a distributor to have his own cut restored and released on home video. But despite all the shenanigans behind the scenes, scattered throughout the movie are unmistakable James Cameron signatures, such as the underwater photography, especially of sunken wrecks, the use of Lance Henriksen as his male lead, a headstrong female lead, and the death of innocents due to corporate greed. As for the plot, well, it's just an excuse to get those flying gill suckers out of the water to kill some extras. You would have been a prognosticator of immense proportions to have predicted the stunning success Cameron has gone on to since, but Piranha II, The Spawning, is indeed, as the director has joked, the finest flying killerfish horror comedy ever made. I think that sums it up. I mean, he said that on a commentary track for one of his other films. I think it was Terminator 2. As a bit of a joke, and well, he's still right. He hasn't got a lot of competition, but yeah, it's basically, you know, late 70s, early 80s B grade horror flick, and you sort of, it's no better or worse than any I've seen in that genre. So yeah, over you guys.
Yeah, agreed. I mean. You know, it is what it is. It's rubbish. Yeah, like from the opening, you know, pre-credits stuff going on, and then while the actual credits themselves just confirm.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know, in a way, there's almost nothing to be said about it. Like the acting is poor, the writing's, you know, poor as well.
Yeah.
The fish are some of the most ridiculous things I've
They are
ever seen in my life.
And the noise that accompanies the fish, where there you go.
And probably I can say this without ruining the film, I'm sure. I mean, my favourite moment would be the guy being in the autopsy and someone...
Oh, the nurse?
Yeah.
Copy?
Yeah, a nurse coming in and this piranha coming out of this guy's stomach.
That was very Aliens.
Flying piranha.
Yeah, well, coming out of his stomach, biting the nurse in the neck, and then seems to make a getaway by jumping out of the window, which I thought was fantastic. So, over to you.
Yeah. No, that cracked me up too. Like, I just, you know, I mean, when I watched, there were all these little Cameron, like with Lance Henriksen, I was like, the love affair begins.
That's
right. Like when I saw that, and when you see Lance Henriksen in this movie, he's like, he actually, when he revved up on this boat, it was very like Roy Scheider.
It's definitely the Roy Scheider.
For some reason, I always like want to go Schneider, but that's like Roy Scheider. Roy Scheider in Jaws, like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's certainly that role.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought it was just hilarious, but the acting was so nasty. What got me was like there was this bit on the beach where they've said that they've been trying to warn them not to have this fish fry up on the beach, but no, of course, corporate greed, they want to do it, and then all of the piranhas all turn up, and when the woman, one of the guys stays out there and sacrifices himself for everyone, but he doesn't do anything, he just kind of stands there and bats at them a bit, and then all the fish go on him, and People are inside, like up against this bloody window, kind of watching, going,
Yeah, that's right.
like the lead female going, oh, like, you know, she's so devastated. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, there's not really too much interesting going on. I mean,
No.
it's basically a template that ticks the boxes, you know.
It's not good, even how it ends.
Yeah, exactly. Get your bloodletting in there. Get your naked breasts in there.
Oh, and that in the first shot,
No,
I was
yeah.
like, now we're in the 80s, like with the Piranha, you know, like the second
Yeah.
Piranha film. Because in the first shot, you've got tits.
Yeah.
You know, like pretty much in
Underwater
that,
sex scene.
yeah, underwater sex scene. I was like, and we're in the 80s, like, you know, terrible.
Yeah,
Just terrible.
actually, when the credits come up, suddenly I was back into Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez's Grindhouse world.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, very much so.
I thought, oh yeah, this is what the actual Grindhouse was about. And I think Roger Corman actually did have something to do with that. He was the king of the Grindhouse, big great stuff.
Yeah.
But I watched, for a bit of research, I suppose, the original Piranha 1. think
Yeah, I
it was
watched
too.
that as well. I was
Yeah.
very angry that Gers made me watch it.
Yeah, I missed that actually. I sort of wondered whether I would have,
No,
you know, if there was some sort of important
Don't-
plot that would have made this film better.
Don't rue the loss of that time.
It's funny because it really has nothing to do with Piranha 1.
Oh no.
Piranha 2 has nothing to do with Piranha 1, except for that sound that you mentioned before.
The little noise.
That's the only thing that carries over
Mm.
from Piranha 1 is
Yeah.
that noise, and that's it. There's no characters, there's no ongoing story or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, let's just get some killer fish in there.
Mm.
Make
I
it
think
on in.
in the first one, you didn't even like see the piranhas. You saw like this flash of an eye, like, you know, in the first, this kind of evil like piranha eye. But in the second one, you actually saw like there's supposed to be thousands of them, you know.
Yeah.
But you like kind of saw this like one of those puppet shadow things of like the, you know, piranhas en masse kind of swimming past the camera.
You know what it reminded me of actually? You know in Ed Wood, that moment where Bela Lugosi jumps into the tub. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's very true.
Yeah.
It's true. It was wrong.
Yeah, and I love the science of how these piranhas came to be created as well. Like they combined, you know, like a piranha with like a flying fish, which is why they can fly. And you know, I was thinking, oh, they should have like combined them with Mexican walking fish as well, so we could have had like some sort of Braveheart charge of like piranhas running down a hill and like massacring people.
I don't think the
That'd be
film would have
awesome.
done as well if it was called like Axolotl. Axolotl, the running. Yes.
Although I would probably see that.
I know, so would I.
Yeah.
I'm all for like Komodo. Do it.
I think you've just bought an idea that somebody would take away.
Someone out there's going,
Thanks,
Axolotl. Is that with a K?
Catchy title. Alright then, shall we end the misery and rate it?
Yes, do it.
Alright. Yeah, nothing special, but nothing particularly terrible, so 5 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
I'm like giving it a 3.